NBA Showtime is brought to you by E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
The Knicks and Pacers continue to warm up at Market Square Arena. Under Larry Bird, Indiana is 13-1 at home in the playoffs. The one loss was to New York in Game 1 of this series. Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm along with Isaiah Thomas and Peter Vesey. We'll send it back to Market Square Arena in just a few minutes. The hot topic in New York continues to be Jeff Van Gundy's decision to put Latrell Sprewell in the Knicks starting lineup. Monday, Sprewell made his first start in over 2 months, and he had a disappointing night, both offensively and defensively.
A very, very disappointing evening.
Fouled out with 12 points in his starting role tonight.
I'll be fine. I just need to go out and play, keep playing, not worry about what's happening, just focus on what I can do to help us win because, you know, the team obviously is going to need me to play big for us if we want to win with Patrick out.
Sprewell has had a tough game, and those are the kind of plays that he normally finishes.
When you make changes, you know, you're susceptible to second guessing. So, you know, if it don't work, and you know, some people are going to second guess you. I don't worry about that. I know this is the way we have to go to have a chance to win the series. We're going to stick with that.
The current Knicks starting lineup with Sprewell averages 6'6" in height. The Pacers starting lineup 6'9", so there is a distinct height advantage there. You feel that Sprewell should be starting?
Yes, I do. And when you look at tonight's lineup, you look at the mismatches that Indiana has created with having Sprewell, Houston, and Ward in. But if you were to start Sprewell in the backcourt along with Houston, and now you move Johnson to the small forward, now you have the mismatches, and that's where Indiana is ineffective at guarding those guys in a half-court set.
Now, Sprewell didn't have any assists in Game 4. Can the Knicks win without a traditional point guard?
Well, the Knicks don't really need a traditional point guard because they don't play with a point guard having to make all the decisions on offense like a John Stockton does in Utah.
I think all the circumstances were going the Knicks' way. It doesn't matter who starts. Rick Smits had no points in the first half. Reggie Miller, no points in the first half. The Knicks couldn't capitalize. Isaiah, I think Van Gundy made a terrible mistake by bringing Sprewell, making him a starter. He should leave him on the bench, let him stew. He comes off with that serrated edge. The whole season he's been trying to prove the coach wrong, and he wants to prove that he deserves to start. And the same thing goes for Camby. Both impact players. Bring them off the bench.
You can't be using those big words, serrated and stuff. You know I don't know what that means.
Sure you do. You're one of the bad boys. The Pacers won despite in Game 4, despite minimal contributions from Reggie Miller and Rick Smits. And as Bill Walton mentioned earlier, it's been others who have picked up the slack. 5 Pacers averaging in double figures for this series, but no player is scoring as many as 15 points per game. Reggie Miller, whose career playoff average against the Knicks was 25 points entering this series, hasn't reached 20 in any of the first 4 games.
Reggie Miller is one of those guys who can't get his own shot.
The fourth quarter, of course, traditionally has been Miller time, but not in this series.
Our superstars haven't played their best basketball, but we're still finding ways to win. So they keep on making excuses, and they keep on pointing fingers. We're not concerned. Reggie Miller could care less whether he scores 25 or 12. As long as we're winning, as long as he's a threat.
New York defense continues to throttle his point production, but they're winning without him.
He's been a guy that's been a cornerstone for this franchise for the last 10 years. And, of course, he feels the burden that he has to put us on his shoulders and, you know, take us to victory circle. But we've been a deep team the last 2 seasons. I think our depth is going to pay off if we stay with it and stay focused.
Reggie Miller shooting under 40% in the series. Why is he having so much trouble with the Knicks, Isaiah?
Hannah, the Knicks and Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell have done a good job in taking away Reggie Miller's space. When he comes off the screen to catch and shoot, he doesn't have enough space to get his shot off. Over 12 years, he hasn't developed a dribble move, so therefore he can't get away.
What I love about Game 4, Jalen Rose was able to turn 2 negatives into 2 positives. He came off the bench as a point guard because Travis Best was injured. That'll be the same tonight. And he was able to break down the Knicks off the dribble at the top of the key. He's the only guy on the Pacers that can do it. And then when Reggie Miller picked up 2 fouls, then Jalen Rose became assertive. For the most part in this series, he's deferred to Reggie, so he just took over the game.
Really flourished with the added responsibility. Meanwhile, the Western Conference champion San Antonio Spurs went back to work today after 2 days off. With the Spurs sweeping their last 2 series, there has been plenty of downtime.
It's a good chance for us really to let it soak in a little bit and say, hey, look where we are, and you got a great opportunity, and let's take advantage of it. You know, I don't think any of us are going to let this opportunity pass by.
Naturally, we love being here, but just being in San Antonio all this time and everywhere you go, is something that we're going to have to really manage, because we got a lot of work to be done, and a lot of our fans sometimes think that we've automatically won a championship, but it don't work like that.
That's right. You still got to play the games. Games 1 and 2 of the finals will be in San Antonio, along with, if necessary, games 6 and 7. The NBA Finals begin a week from tonight. Will the Spurs meet the Knicks or the Pacers? Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals is coming up. We'll send you back to Market Square Arena for the tip-off. The NBA on NBC continues after these messages.